Good afternoon. In previous lecture, we have studied about the nitroalkanes and started about the amines. Yesterday, or in previous lecture, we have studied, that is, definition of amines, then classification. After classification, we have started nomenclature of amines. In nomenclature of amines, we have discussed about the common or trivial system, and now we are going to study the next system, that is IUPAC system. IUPAC system for the nomenclature of amines. IUPAC system. In IUPAC system, amines are called alkanamine. They are known as alkanamine. That is, amines in IUPAC system, they are known as alkanamine. Okay? That is, we can write here, suppose this is a general formula for amine, and that's why it will become alkane, and by replacing E by amine, we get the name called alkanamine. While naming each and every member, that is, we can write the name of the compound like, that is CH3NH2, it is called methanamine. Methanamine. While those containing, that is, 2 carbon atom, they are called ethanamine. Ethanamine. Methanamine and ethanamine are the, that is, correct IUPAC names of methylamine and ethylamine. In case of IUPAC system, those contain 1 and 2 carbon atom, they are simply called methanamine, ethanamine, but those contain 3 or more carbon atoms, their names are given by using some rules. The first rule is there: select longest continuous chain containing amino group. Okay? Select longest continuous chain containing amino group and number the carbon chain in such a way that amino group should contain or should carry lowest possible number. Okay? How? Let us see the example. That is CH3, CH2, CH2 and NH2. This amine contains 3 carbon atom and amino group is present on very first carbon. It is present on very first carbon, and that's why we can write the compound as a propane. This very present is the first compound, first carbon, and its IUPAC name become propane 1 amine. This is called propane 1 amine. Suppose this NH2 group is shifted towards middle carbon. The name of amine become propane 2 amine. Propane 2 amine. In this way, we can easily name the compound, that is propane 2 amine. Suppose there is a branch chain amine. For example, the branch chain amine, we can write its IUPAC name starting from amino group. The amino group which is present on that carbon atom, it is numbered as 1. That is, we get here its IUPAC name become 2-methyl propane 1 amine. Propane 1 amine. All amines which are mentioned are primary amines. Okay, another example for primary amine is, that is, tertiary butyl amine, and its IUPAC name become 2-methyl 2-propane amine. Its IUPAC name become 2-methyl propane 2 amine. 2-methyl propane 2 amine. These are the examples of these primary. All these amines are primary in nature, and that's why these primary amines are called alkanamine in IUPAC system. While dealing with the secondary amine, we know better secondary amines are of 2 types, symmetrical and unsymmetrical. Symmetrical amines are called dialkanamine, or we can say N-alkyl alkanamine, and that is unsymmetrical amines are called, that is, alkyl alkanamine. Okay? First, secondary amines. Secondary amines. When they are symmetrical, when they are symmetrical, for example, suppose this is the same example, diethanamine. Its IUPAC name, diethanamine. Ethanamine. Suppose another example, 2 two ethyl groups are present here. Compound is called diethanamine. Dimethanamine and diethanamine. Ethanamine are the examples of that is secondary amines. These are the IUPAC names of the secondary amines. When they are symmetrical one, but when they are unsymmetrical in nature, then lowest alkyl group is called alkyl, N substituted alkyl, while larger alkyl group is called alkanamine. And that's why its IUPAC name become N-methyl ethanamine. N-methyl ethanamine. Okay, smaller group is called N substituent, while larger group is called alkanamine, and that's why its IUPAC name N-methyl ethanamine. Suppose the given amine contain one of the that is alkyl group contain 3 carbon atom, then you have to indicate its lowest possible number. We can write the IUPAC name that N-ethyl propane 1 amine. N-ethyl propane 1 amine is its IUPAC name. N-ethyl propane 1 amine. You can easily write the IUPAC name of unsymmetrical amine. Okay. When the given amines are tertiary in nature. When the amines are tertiary in nature and they are simply known as trialkanamine. When they are symmetrical one, they are called trialkanamine. Tertiary amines are there, and in IUPAC system, tertiary amines are called trialkanamine. The example is trimethanamine. Name of the example is trimethanamine. Trimethanamine in this way. Okay. Suppose different alkyl groups are present which are attached to that amine, and generally they are named in IUPAC system as N-alkyl alkanamine. Its name is N-alkyl that is alkanamine. It means that it contains methyl, ethyl and propyl. In case of propyl group, carbon nitrogen bond is very first carbon atom, and we can write the name of the compound is N-methyl propane 1 amine. Propane 1 amine. N-methyl propane 1 amine. It is its IUPAC name. N-methyl propane 1 amine. Suppose there are some examples like aromatic amines. How such aromatic amines are named in IUPAC system? Okay, taking some examples for IUPAC system. First example, suppose another example here. One of the group is phenyl group. Then what is its IUPAC name? Its IUPAC name is, it is a compound C6H5 group along with nitrogen is called aniline, and that's why compound is called N-methyl aniline. Compound is called N-methyl aniline because benzene ring along with amino group compound is called aniline. Compound is called aniline both in common as well as in IUPAC system. It means that compound aniline is called aniline is recognized both in common as well as in IUPAC system. That's why this group is called, this compound is aniline, and it is called N-substituted aniline, and that's why its IUPAC name is N-methyl aniline. Suppose 2 methyl or any alkyl groups are present on nitrogen of the benzene ring. What happened here? The compound is simply called N-dimethyl aniline. N-dimethyl aniline, or sometime one of the alkyl group is methyl and another one is ethyl, then compound is simply called N-methyl aniline. Its IUPAC name is N-dimethyl aniline, and its IUPAC name is N-methyl aniline. All are the simple IUPAC names of the compound. Okay, this is about nomenclature of amines. Nomenclature of amines is carried out by means of two different systems. First is called common or trivial system, and second one is called IUPAC system. Okay, then let us start about the IUPAC system. Sorry, we have discussed already. That is both the systems here. Now, isomerism in amines. Next part is isomerism in amines. Regarding CET point of view, this is important concept here. Isomerism in amines. Aliphatic amines exhibit 4 different type of isomerism. Aliphatic amines exhibit 4 different type of isomerism. That is chain isomerism, position isomerism, then functional isomerism, and fourth part is metaimerism. Metaimerism. It means that aliphatic amines exhibit 4 different type of structural isomerism: chain, position, functional, and metaimerism. Chain, position, functional, and metaimerism. We can discuss one by one. Okay, first we can say about chain isomerism. What is a chain isomerism? Amines having same molecular formula but a different carbon chain, they are called chain isomers. Amines having same molecular formula but different carbon chain, they are called chain isomerism. Example, C4H11N. This is a simple molecular formula of the amine. This amine may be represented as a straight chain compound. Okay, we can write here this amine as a N-butyl amine. 5, 7, 9, and 11. N-butyl amine, and this N-butyl amine can be written as a isobutyl amine. Okay, this N-butyl amine can be written as a isobutyl amine. First amine is called that is straight chain amine, and second amine is called branch chain amine. That's why its name is N-butyl amine, and its name is isobutyl amine. First is straight chain isomer, and second one is that is branch chain isomer. That's why they exhibit what kind of isomerism? They exhibit chain isomerism. Okay, number second, position isomerism. Position isomerism. Amines having same molecular formula but different position of the functional group. Amines having same molecular formula but different position of the amino group, of that is functional group, they are called that is position isomer. Okay, example, suppose this is a propane 1 amine. Example is propane 1 amine. Propane 1 amine. Propane 1 amine in IUPAC system, they are called propane 2 amine. Suppose amino group is shifted from carbon number 1 to carbon number 2, then it will become the compound we can call, this is a butane 1 amine. This compound is called butane 1 amine. Its number of carbon atoms are 4. That's why its name is butane 1 amine. And when amino group is shifted towards carbon number 2, the name of the compound is a butane 2 amine. Butane 2 amine. That's why this shows such type of isomerism. They exhibit position isomerism. Same molecular formula but different position of the amino group. Okay. Then number third, functional isomerism. Functional isomerism. Okay, let us see. Here, organic compound having same molecular formula but different functional groups, they are called functional isomers. Amines also exhibit functional isomerism. For example, a compound here, C3H9N. This formula can be represented into 3 different forms. First is when all 3 carbon atoms are arranged in a straight chain and amino group is present as a functional group. It means that NH2 group when present as a functional group, it is called amino group. Okay? When this compound is converted into such type of form, its name is immunoform. Immunoform. It means functional group present in this amine, secondary, this is a primary. When secondary amine, functional group is called immuno. And in case of, suppose this compound is again turned into, that is a tertiary amine. The what kind of functional group present in this amine is a tertiary nitrogen. It is a tertiary nitrogen. tertiary nitrogen. It means that same molecular formula but different functional group. In first compound, amino group is there. In second compound, imino group. And third compound, tertiary nitrogen is a functional group. And that's why amines exhibit functional isomerism, possessing same molecular formula but different functional groups. Simple one. Okay. Then last one, metamerism. Metamerism exhibited by these amines. Metamerism is a phenomenon in which organic compound having same molecular formula but different alkyl group around the polyvalent functional group. Same molecular formula but different alkyl group around the polyvalent functional group. You know better, amines contain nitrogen atom as a functional group. Nitrogen, it contains nitrogen, or we can say functional group contains nitrogen, and this nitrogen have valency more than one, and that's why we can say nitrogen is said to be the polyvalent. And when such nitrogen present in amine get attached to different alkyl group, when present different alkyl group, then we can say, example, suppose this is example is called diethylamine. Example is diethylamine. What kind of functional group present in diethylamine? Amino group. This compound we can easily convert. This compound we can easily convert into another secondary amine, and its name is, that is, methyl N-propyl amine. Its common name is methyl N-propyl amine. N-propyl amine. It means that both are secondary in nature. Both amines are secondary in nature, but first contain two ethyl group which are attached to either side of the amino group or imino group, and in the second one, both that is amino group which is present in as a functional group, which one group is said to be the methyl and another is said to be the propyl. It means that same molecular formula but different alkyl group around the polyvalent functional group. It means that these two compounds having same molecular formula, but different alkyl group around polyvalent functional group. In this compound, 12 ethyl groups are there. In this compound, one is methyl and another is N-propyl. One is methyl and another is N-propyl group. Okay, that's why this phenomenon is called metamerism. Organic compound having same molecular formula but different alkyl groups around the polyvalent functional groups. They are called metamers, and the phenomenon is known as metamerism. This is simple about the isomerism in amines. Amines exhibit how many types of isomerism? Amines exhibit 4 different types of structural isomerism: chain, position, functional, and metamerism. Then let us start methods of preparation of amines. Preparation of amines. Preparation. Amines have been obtained by means of 4 different systems. We can discuss one by one. Amines are obtained by using 4 different systems or 4 different methods. First method is called Hofmann ammonolysis reaction. Hofmann ammonolysis reaction. Ammonolysis reaction. Hofmann ammonolysis reaction. What is Hofmann ammonolysis reaction? What is Hofmann ammonolysis reaction? Okay. In this reaction, when alkyl halides are heated with alcoholic ammonia, what kind of ammonia? Alcoholic ammonia, in a sealed copper tube at 373 Kelvin, that is, amines are formed, or you can say mixture of different amines are formed. It gives a mixture of primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary ammonium salt. It means that we get here primary amine along with second, that is, in react with alkyl halide, another molecule of alkyl halide, it produces secondary amine along with HX. The secondary amine which is formed, this secondary amine again react with alkyl halide, it produces tertiary amine, and tertiary amine which is formed itself acts as a very stronger base, again react with another molecule of alkyl halide, and it produces compound called quaternary ammonium salt. What is the name of the product here? Quaternary ammonium salt. Such type of product is formed. It indicates that when alkyl halides are heated with alcoholic ammonia in a sealed copper tube, a mixture of different amine is formed. We get here primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary ammonium salt. It means that the reaction leads to formation of a mixture of different amines. Primary, secondary, and tertiary amines are formed during the reaction. Okay, very simple one. Then what are the important features of this reaction? First one, this is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. First feature of this reaction is that it is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, then number second, gives mixture of different amines. Mixture of different amines are formed. Mixture of different amines. Okay. Then rate of reactivity of alkyl halide toward this reaction is said to be the alkyl iodides are more reactive than alkyl bromide, and alkyl bromides are more reactive than alkyl chloride towards this reaction. It means that which alkyl halide gives maximum yield of amine, that is alkyl iodide, followed by alkyl bromide, and least reactive are alkyl chloride. It is what kind of chemical reaction? It is called nucleophilic substitution reaction. This ammonia is responsible to break the bond between carbon and halogen, and that's why you can call the reaction as a ammonolysis reaction. Ammonia is responsible to break the bond between carbon and halogen, and that's why you can call the reaction is a ammonolysis reaction. Okay, it is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. It gives a mixture of different amines, as well as rate of reactivity of alkyl halide is said to be the more reactive alkyl iodide, and least reactive are alkyl chloride. Okay, while dealing with the nature, that is primary amine gives maximum yield. It means that, primary alkyl halide gives maximum yield of alkyl amine than the secondary alkyl halide, and secondary alkyl halide gives maximum yield of amine than tertiary one. Tertiary alkyl halide. Okay, it means that which alkyl halide gives maximum yield of amine, primary, which gives that is least amine here, tertiary alkyl halide gives least product of the amine. Okay, this is the reactivity of that amine. So what happens here? Suppose we are going to prepare maximum, or you can say major product as a primary amine. What is to be done? It means that in order to get primary amine as a major product, what is to be done? That is use excess of alcoholic ammonia. Use excess of alcoholic ammonia. It means that alkyl halides when heated with excess alcoholic ammonia. What kind of? Excess alcoholic ammonia. When heated 373 Kelvin, you get here a major product, primary amine, that is RNH2 along with HX. It means that in order to get major yield of primary amine, we have to use excess alcoholic ammonia. And another drawback of the reaction is there. Suppose which alkyl halide is responsible to produce maximum yield of primary amine? Only primary alkyl halide, because secondary and tertiary alkyl halide, they mostly undergo dehydrohalogenation rather than substitution. It means that they undergo which reaction more readily? They undergo elimination reaction more readily than substitution reaction. It means that primary alkyl halides are only able to produce yield of ammonia as amine, but secondary and tertiary they do not produce maximum yield of amine. That is reaction they gives mainly reaction elimination rather than substitution. For example, suppose we used such type of alkyl halide, its nature is said to be the tertiary one. This is a tertiary butyl bromide, and this tertiary butyl bromide when heated with ammonia in alcoholic medium or alcoholic solution. Alcoholic medium, when we heated, that is tertiary butyl bromide with ammonia, what happens here? They undergo elimination reaction. This reaction will lead to elimination rather than substitution. This hydrogen and bromine, it will form HBr as a strong acid. This HBr will combine with ammonia to form ammonium bromide, and there is a carbon-carbon double bond. It means that reaction leads to elimination rather than substitution, and that's why we can write here the product we can call as a ammonium bromide. And important alkene, that is isobutylene. What kind of alkene? Isobutylene is formed as a major product. This indicates that secondary and tertiary alkyl halides are not able to give maximum yield of amine because they undergo elimination rather than substitution. Okay. And another important feature of this reaction is that this reaction is not able to produce aromatic primary amines because we know better, the alkyl aryl halides are chemically inert towards nucleophilic substitution reaction. Because of non-reactive nature of aryl halides towards nucleophilic substitution reaction, this reaction is not used for the preparation of aromatic primary amines. In another word, aromatic primary amines are not obtained by using this method because aryl halides are chemically less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reaction. This is called Hofmann's amylolysis reaction. This reaction is called Hofmann's amylolysis reaction. The first method, very simple and important one. Okay, then number second method. Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. And also important method, Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. In Gabriel phthalimide synthesis, what is to be done? Phthalimide, what kind of starting material? Phthalimide is treated first with alcoholic or aqueous KOH. Alcoholic or aqueous KOH, and we get here potassium phthalimide in the first step. It produces what kind of compound? It produces potassium phthalimide as an intermediate compound. This we can say potassium phthalimide as a compound. Potassium phthalimide. Potassium phthalimide. Potassium phthalimide is formed as a intermediate compound. This formed potassium phthalimide, this again react with alkyl halide. This potassium phthalimide later on react with alkyl halide. It reacts with alkyl halide, and as it reacts with alkyl halide, there is formation of N-alkyl phthalimide. Which intermediate is formed? Second intermediate is formed, and its name is N-alkyl phthalimide. What is name of the compound? It is called N-alkyl phthalimide, along with the byproduct KX. KX is formed as a byproduct. It is called N-alkyl phthalimide. Okay. First potassium phthalimide as a first intermediate. It gives second intermediate as a N-alkyl phthalimide, and this N-alkyl phthalimide, when subjected for hydrolysis with caustic soda, N-alkyl phthalimide, when subjected for NaOH written as a NaOH, it is inverted in this way, and we get here such type of product here, RNH2. It means RNH2 the primary amine, and here there is COONA, and we can write the reaction as in this way. ONA, here ONA. It means that potassium phthalimide is formed as a byproduct along with important product primary amine. In this way, we can easily prepare primary amine by using the method, and this method is called Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. What kind of method or what kind of reaction is carried out while in the preparation of primary amine? Starting material is a phthalimide. Its name is phthalimide. This phthalimide react with KOH to form potassium phthalimide. This potassium phthalimide react with alkyl halide to form N-alkyl phthalimide. And this N-alkyl phthalimide again react with caustic soda NaOH to produce primary amine along with sodium phthalate, sodium salt of phthalic acid. It produces sodium salt of phthalic acid as a final product, byproduct, which is our expected product, primary amine. It is important one. This method is also not suitable for the preparation of aromatic primary amine because anion formed in this reaction is not able to undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. It means whatever may be anion produced by phthalimide is not able to take part in a nucleophilic substitution reaction. That's why we are unable to prepare aromatic primary amine by using this method. This is called Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. Okay, this is the second method. Then number third method for the preparation of amines. Third method, reduction of oximes, cyanides, then nitroalkanes, and amides. It means that 4 compounds are subjected for reduction of oximes, cyanides, then nitroalkanes and amides. By reduction of 4 these compounds, amines are produced. By reduction of 4 different compounds, amines are produced. First, reduction of oximes. You know better, 2 types of oximes are here, aldoximes and ketoxime. Those which are derived from aldehyde are called aldoxime, and those derived from ketones are called ketoxime. Those which are derived from ketones are called ketoxime. It means that oximes are of 2 types, aldoximes and ketoxymes. Okay. When such aldoximes and ketoxymes are reduced by using sodium in ethanol, it means it is a reducing reagent. Name of the reducing reagent is a sodium in ethanol. It means that when either aldoxime or ketoxime is subjected for reduction by using the catalyst sodium in ethanol, that is primary amines are formed. What kind of amines are formed? Primary amines are formed. How such reaction take place? 4 nascent hydrogens are responsible to take part in a chemical reaction. Out of these 4, 2 get attached to nitrogen, 1 get attached to OH group, and remaining 4th one attached to that carbon atom. Double bond get broken, and we get the product R CH2 NH2, and OH group is converted into water. Okay, in this case, R CRH NH2 along with H2O. Both amines are primary nature. It means that reduction of either aldoxime or ketoxime by using sodium in ethanol, they produces, that is, amine, and both amines are primary in nature. Very simple reaction. 2 hydrogen atoms are attached to nitrogen, okay, remaining 3rd one attached to that carbon, and another remaining attached to OH group, and we get a water molecule. This simple reduction of oximes. Then reduction of cyanides. Next number, reduction of cyanides. Cyanides are reduced by using same reagent, and the name of the reagent is sodium in ethanol. What is the reagent? What is the reagent here? What is the reducing reagent? Sodium in ethanol. Okay. Alkyl cyanides, when reduced by using sodium in ethanol, sodium in ethanol, then what happens in this reaction? Two hydrogen attached to that nitrogen and two hydrogen attached to that carbon, and overall reaction leads to formation of a primary amine. Overall reaction leads to formation of primary amine. Okay? Suppose we use the benzylamine, cyanobenzyl or benzonitrile. What is name of the product here? Reactant? Benzonitrile. When this benzonitrile is reduced by using sodium in ethanol, what kind of reagent? Sodium in ethanol, we get the product, and the name of the product is called benzylamine. What is name of the compound? Benzylamine. Benzylamine is formed in this way. Okay? Reduction of cyanides and oxides are done by same reagent, and name of reagent is sodium in ethanol. It gives nascent hydrogen. 4 nascent hydrogens are necessary or essential to carry out reduction of oxides and cyanides. Oxides and cyanides. Then number third one, reduction of nitroalkanes. Third one is reduction of nitroalkanes. Nitroalkanes. Nitroalkanes are reduced into amine by using different reagent. What kind of reagent? Tin in HCl, iron in HCl, or lithium aluminum hydride, or another reagent. This reagent, lithium aluminum hydride in ether, or in ether. Another reagent, ether, or another we can say catalytical reduction. By using any one of the method, we can easily prepare, that is amine. Okay, when tin HCl is used, it produces stannous chloride along with nascent hydrogen. When it reacts, it produces ferrous chloride along with nascent hydrogen. It means that when tin reacts with HCl, it produces stannous chloride along with hydrogen. When iron reacts with HCl, it produces iron Fe, ferrous chloride plus HCl. Hydrogen, nascent hydrogen. And that's why these nitroalkanes are converted into primary amine by using any one of the reagent. But first two reagents are mostly used. First two reagents are mostly used. Suppose we use nitroalkane along with tin in HCl. Tin in HCl. Both react, and that is we get here such type of nascent hydrogen. How such nascent hydrogens are possible? We can here see here tin plus HCl gives a stannous chloride along with 6 nascent hydrogen. How such nascent hydrogens are? How can we balance the reaction? Here we can write here 6 molecules of HCl, we get 3 molecules of stannous chloride, and 3 atomic tins are used, and we can balance this reaction easily. And that's why we can write by using tin HCl, considering how many nascent hydrogen? 6. We know better. Nitrogen is converted into amino group, that is RNH2, and 2 oxygen atoms are here, and these 2 oxygen atoms are converted into 2 water molecules. 2 oxygen atoms are converted into 2 water molecules, and that's why they produce such type of product. Very simple one. Suppose nitrobenzene is used. Nitrobenzene is again converted into important compound, and this compound is called aniline. What is name of the compound? Name of the compound is called aniline. Okay, this aniline along with what is the byproduct? 2 molecules of water. It means that nitroalkanes are converted or reduced into primary amine by using the reducing reagent, and this reducing reagent mainly are tin in HCl, iron in HCl, or lithium aluminum hydride in ether, or you can say catalytical reduction. It means that oxides, cyanides, and nitroalkanes are converted into amines. The last one, reduction of amides. Reduction of amides. reduction of amides. Acid amides, what kind of the compound? Acid amides are reduced by using lithium aluminum hydride followed by hydrolysis. They are converted into amine. That is, they are converted into primary amine along with H2O. There is no need to balance the reaction because lithium aluminum hydride and hydrolysis is carried out. We get here, this carbonyl group is converted to methylene group, RCH2NH2, and that's why this reaction can be carried out easily. Suppose you use acetamide. What kind of compound is used? Suppose you use acetamide, and this acetamide is converted or reduced by using lithium aluminum hydride, and second one is hydrolysis is carried out. We get here ethylamine. What kind of compound? You get ethylamine along with water. In this way, you can easily write the chemical reaction or easily use lithium aluminum hydride to carry out reduction of acid amide. It means that by reduction of oxides, cyanides, nitroalkanes, and amines are formed. These four compounds mostly undergo reduction and they produces primary amine as a product. Okay. Then fourth method. The name of the fourth method is Hofmann-Bromamide degradation. What is the name of the method? Hofmann-Bromamide degradation. Fourth one, Hofmann-Bromamide degradation. Very important method. Hofmann-Bromamide degradation. Hofmann-Bromamide degradation. Last one, Hofmann-Bromamide degradation. This is an important reaction. This is an important method for the preparation of amine and very important regarding entrance point of view. Here, it is an example of molecular rearrangement reaction. What is to be done while carrying out this reaction? In this reaction, acid amides. When treated with halogen like a bromine along with caustic soda, NaOH, they produces such type of amine. Along with important byproduct like sodium bromide, then they also produces two water molecule along with sodium carbonate. What are the important characteristics of this reaction? What happens in this reaction? In this reaction, it is an example of molecular rearrangement reaction. In which amino group get migrated from carbonyl carbon to alkyl group. And the important feature of this reaction is that you get amine which contain less carbon atom as compared to starting reactant. While comparing starting reactant, we get the product. This product contains less carbon atom, one carbon atom which is less. Okay, by using acetamide along with the bromine and NaOH, you can balance this reaction easily. 4 molecules of NaOH are used. We get here methylamine, then 2 molecules of sodium bromide, 2 molecules of water, and sodium carbonate. Okay. The important feature of this reaction is that we get amine which contains less carbon atom, the example of molecular rearrangement reaction. These are the 4 methods of preparation of amines. Thank you.